I will tell Becky. Thanks. Beauty crosses the room to fetch Patricia's walker, a battered metal frame that relieves some of the pressure off her back. The wheelchair, which lives in the sitting room, is something she tries to avoid. Not only does it embarrass her, more recently it has started to dig into her back. I couldn't sleep last night, could you? Not so good, missus. No, not so good at all. Outside, the old Rottweiler has started barking. Patricia always knows at once what the sound means. Etunzini has seen one of the stable cats. A woman from the dairy is bringing in the morning milk. A stranger has arrived at the house, their car having survived the driveway. These days there's more traffic up and down their road, but it's usually earth movers and trucks. Etunzini, who hasn't quite worked out how to handle them, contents herself with barking from the apparent safety of the lawn. This eruption means the morning milk, so they both ignore it. Breakfast is laid out as usual in the small room at the back of the house which adjoins the kitchen. The window panes are indeed being patrolled by flies. Through the mist, Patricia can see the fir tree outside, where the bodies of freshly slaughtered lambs were hung. The 2 rows of bloodwoods that lead towards the dairy and the larger sheds march off in ever-diminishing tones of grey. Rupert and George would normally have been there to greet her before returning to snapping up the flies, but she had them shot a week ago and buried under the fir tree at the front. Only Etunzini remains. Although of the same dotage as the 2 Alsatians, Patricia hasn't yet had the stomach to have the Rottweiler killed. But her grave has been waiting for her all week, flanked by those of the Alsatians, as though the other 2 dogs, who were always more adventurous, have gone to secure the underworld ahead of her. All her life, Patricia has been accompanied by a hurricane of dogs, usually Chihuahuas and a Rottweiler, and a few variations between. The last Chihuahua, Finnegan, died in her lap 18 months ago. Her heart just stopped. When her body had gone cold, Patricia asked Becky to bury her in the Bloodwood Grove, where all the other dogs had been buried. It was on that day that she decided to sell the farm. It was the right decision, of course. Even back then, Richard needed a proper trained nurse, and it was ridiculous the way he sometimes wandered about. Shortly after the death of Finnegan, he disappeared for a whole night. Becky later found him naked inside a disused porcupine hole that he'd scooped out. There were bits of grass and burrs in his beard. Patricia and Beauty had a private laugh about it, but it couldn't carry on. None of it could. She worked out that if she sold the farm, there would still be enough to live off. The Durban house was 150 years old, and whenever anyone walked inside it, it creaked like an ancient ship. It stood on top of the hill in Glenwood and overlooked the harbour and the bluff. It was the house she had grown up in, and she has had dreams about it her whole adult life. She wanted to spend her last days doing little more than staring at the sea. She pours a glass of orange juice from the Toby jug and, grunting with the pain of it, sits. There are still weaver birds nesting in the fir tree. They sway and twitter and clack. The room smells of Alsatian and oats and leaking gas. She's decided not to get the cooker fixed. She has been rather hoping the whole house would go up in smoke, with all of them inside it. Eh? Even now, Richard has the ability to appear by magic. He must have evaded Beauty, as he's still wearing his pyjamas, pale blue cotton, stained with tea and smears of bran rusk. The pyjamas are the same steady tone as his gaze, which is fixed on Patricia, as if she's an oncoming storm. Morning, Richard. Are you going to sit? Eh? Would you like a cup of tea? Beauty? I want to take the dogs. What? To my father's place. I want to take them there tonight. Right. It is not the fact of the dogs being shot that amuses her. It is that his father died 20 years ago. What's there to laugh about? He wants to know.